Greetings, humans. It is I, Aurorical Gems, shining light and spitting prophecies and sprinkling gems upon the people, eh? You see me? But yeah, I wanted to talk about. Let me get comfortable. Oof. Sorry, I had to be complicated. But simple. Okay. I want to talk about. I want to talk about the men. I know I'm always talking about the women. So like, you know how they have like this war against women against men, especially my people. We're not going to co-sign that because it is not a war anymore. Not here. Leave your guns and your body suits, your armor at the door. Like how they say a lot of men, you know how a lot of women are like, men are the problem, and men are like, women are the problem. When it's like women do birth the boys that turn into men. And it's like, it's not the women's fault. It's pretty much the war on all of us as a people, where they circumcise. And I don't know, I was kind of like, I'm on the edge, or I'm on the fence, because I'm like, people say it's for hygienic purposes, because you can get like an infection, like if you don't take care of it from when they're like babies and stuff. Because it's, you know, babies are babies. They literally poop in their diaper, and they could be sitting in their diaper, or they pee in their diaper and they're kind of sitting in it. So it's like, I can see that. And you have to kind of like, you can't feel the baby's pain. But then like circumcising it, it's like, this is what it's all gonna come in together. Like you're cutting the basically it is the tip of the penis, like around, it's what covers the tip. So it's technically reflexology. You'll see that it's actually the very top of the penis. The tip is actually connected directly to the heart. So we wonder why like our men are doing all these things. Why are they acting like so irate? Why are they hating women? Well, when they come for their mama, then they're like, something that is like their birthright, something that is sacred, is taken away from them immediately. It's like, that can be expected, right? Behavioral. If you study like just the science behind behavior and cause and effect, you can see why that is the case. They are disconnected from their hearts, mainly because of indoctrination and media programming them, and just the push of all of this toxicity within the culture, as well as the chemical warfare. And it's also the giving birth in the hospital, being programmed to give birth in the hospitals, where they can circumcise your child and take the pretty much the head of the penis, which there's so many nerve endings that they cut away, which that can deeply more so connect you to your heart. And that's where the like literally reflexology is connected directly to where the love is at. You know, their sense of self, their sense of belonging and love. They're disconnected from all of that immediately. Like birth is already sort of traumatic, so like for them to do that, that's even more trauma. And then for us to normalize it and then body shame men who aren't circumcised, that's a whole other thing as well. So it's like, I don't know too much about the hygienic part. I haven't dived up deep into that research, and I don't know men. I probably would have to have one in front of me. I don't really know. I guess I can look at pictures, but yeah, and it's just like that whole thing, and it's just, I feel like that ties into. I guess that's kind of, I won't say like that's the only reason, but there's so many reasons, because it's just a whole warfare. And they can literally, the chemicals, all of these things, as to why men are, I guess, being hostile towards women, but still wanting to have sex with them. Like, oh, I'm just gonna fuck her, and like pump and dump, all of that type of energy. And not gonna discredit the good men. We have a lot of good men in our community. So many family men. Like, we have a lot of good men. Like, they're not even showing family men, like real men. But there's also like a huge part that you can't ignore about a lot of guys who just aren't there emotionally, shit, mentally too sometimes. Fully there emotionally, and they just want to like kind of fuck their way back to heaven. Pardon my language. But yeah, like kind of F their way back to heaven. Just getting addicted to sex, all of these things. I feel like a deeper issue would be, what are you doing to them at birth? How are they being birthed into the world? By whom? and what is being implanted into the person, the mother who is carrying the child while it, and then she's being supported by her partner who helped her create the child, how they conceived, and then how the baby is being born, and what environment they're being born into, and then what is happening to them upon arrival. So castrating them upon arrival, I mean, that's going to have a toll that is so deeply rooted subconsciously to where it's not going to even be recognized when they're an adult, but it's like it ties into it, to how they are performing as a little boy growing up. And then shaming them when they try to touch their private parts because they're curious as a little child, and like, no, don't do that. I feel like that's a whole another thing that you're adding on top of things that's already a mess. So it's just like this whole thing surrounding men, and like our men actually needing help, needing free therapy. I feel like therapy should just be free. Like communities should just be meeting up and giving each other free therapy. Like these are the type of things that I feel we need to talk about. That this need to be talked about and recognized and shine light on it, and just take into consideration that could also be it definitely is part of the issue of why there's so a lot of them, not most of them, not even most of them, but just a lot of them are just disconnected from their heart centers, which is directly connected to the tip of their penis, which is often in America mostly cut off at birth in these hospitals, and it's just the norm. And I don't even know what they're doing with the foreskin, child. That's stem cells. We don't know what they're doing with it, the umbilical cord, all of this crazy stuff. And in some countries they do women, but not here in America. It's just men who are circumcised here. And it's just like, why? You know? So that's just food for thought. And my throat's getting dry, so I'm gonna drink some water. But yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents. My dollar, my whole dollar, my $2. My 2 mil on circumcision, and how it can tie into men being disconnected from their hearts, and how we're like so quick to be like, men need to, shaming men and blaming men, shaming and blaming the men for their own circumstance, when it's really something that happens at birth, that ties into the bigger scale of things on a minute level. It really can be circumcision, and how they're being birthed, and how the mother is loving them, and the state of the mother when she's even pregnant, and the man that she chose to mate with who is caretaking her while she's pregnant, and at the emotional state that she in throughout her whole pregnancy, through birth, and also conception. All of that plays a huge part in the I guess the mental emotional stability of the being that's being brought into this realm, and how they're being raised when they're actually here in this realm, the environment. And then all of that, the pains that you inflict upon them at such a young, fragile age, and something that they're going to be creating life with themselves. I mean, that's going to cause a lot of trauma on such a deep scale level that people are like, why are they doing this? And then you're just like throwing arrows at them, but like they're suffering their own selves. Hurt people. So it's like, can we just come to a clean slate with men and women where we just love each other? Like there's just a war on us as a people. We need men need women, we all need each other. So that yin, that yang, we need each other. And yeah, just getting to the root of this healing and doing the actual work and harnessing our actual chi energy instead of just running around trying to have sex thinking that that's always the answer. Like, yes, sexual healing is definitely powerful, but I'm like, you have to actually find your mate, find the right partner that is cohesive and actually conducive to you on so many different levels, astrologically, mentally, physically, emotionally. Like, there's so many aspects, and I feel like spirit will just show you, you will just know. We're that powerful. You're literally just gonna know when you, like, love at first sight is real. You just know them when you see them. Like, a lot of men do know their wives when they see them, like, oh, I'm gonna marry her. Like, this is a knowing that we have. It happens every day. Like, yeah, it's a thing. You don't have to even waste all your time dating people back to back to back. Oh, trying to search for someone. No, go within. Find that within yourself, and automatically the way reality works, you will attract it when you're ready. And just friendship, camaraderie, and community healing, that is what's needed. And yes, that is my word for that. Think on it. Talk about it with somebody that you know. And yeah, and be reminded to all humans, drink your water. If you can, get like reverse osmosis or alkaline or plasma water, or if you have water distiller, and then adding some plasma to that, or some liquid gold or liquid silver, or just adding simple herbs and fruits, chopping up some fruit, squeezing it, adding it to your water, lime water, because this water is technically dead water. It doesn't really have like all the electrolytes that we need, and it literally wipes your electrolytes. So just doing that, or just getting a watermelon, eating watermelon, juicing the watermelon, just eating lots of fruits, juicing your veggies, and get that intake. that liquid intake. And remember to be in your body, in your breath, and in your bliss. Say bliss in the ancient, get to kiss.